Once Human is getting some brand new server updates. Additionally, we have a brand new official giveaway and event. We also have some tips and tricks from the community as well as some feedback. With that, some confusing things the game doesn't tell you that are further explained, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up, world? This is Utopia back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things Once Human. So first up here, we did have some new server updates as well as some new hard difficulties. So they are dropping some new high difficulty or hard mode difficulty servers. Now these are mostly pertaining to the Asia region, and they're all PvE as of right now. So we have one here opening up for Southeast Asia, as well as Republic of Korea, and one last server here for Hong Kong, Macau, and as well as Taiwan. And weirdly enough, this server is actually hard, phase, and coherence. The reason why this is odd is because none of the servers that launched on 8.19, 8.18, or even 8.20 were phase or coherence if they were hard. Essentially, every server that was hard difficulty was only void and balance. But now with some of the new servers, and this does include NA, both PvP and PvE, the ones launching on 8.25, which is today, actually do have the phase coherence deviant anomaly. Weird enough, they waited there to launch those, or those were at a later date. Those didn't launch at the same time. So if you did want to do a burn, shrapnel, fast gunner, or even fortress warfare build, or just wanted to do the phase and coherence anomaly, you can actually pick those now with the hard mode difficulty. Weirdly enough, those weren't available on day one, but now they are with day one servers for 8.25. Again, not sure why they did that or why there is that change there, especially since normal mode servers, both PvE and PvE, had phase and coherence. We'll have to see. Hopefully they do answer about that, or why there was that change there overall, or why they didn't launch those day one with the normal and hard mode servers. But that is a recent change here, so if you were waiting to join a hard mode server, you now have the option to join phase and coherence. Moving on, though, we do have a brand new event and giveaway. Although this time this is held over on the official Twitter account and not exactly in-game. So this is the Summer Vibe in Once Human reward giveaway. They went over here that they want you to share summer-themed screenshots, sunshine, beaches, and summer outfits. Obviously from Once Human on both Facebook or Twitter/X. You're going to have to use the hashtag OnceHuman and Summer Vibes. And on 9/18, they will pick 10 people to win a $10 Steam gift card. They've already been retweeting some like this one here, so you could potentially get a shout out as well from the official Once Human Twitter, where they essentially show an example here of what they're looking for. So if you want to jump into that, I will include a link to this tweet down below. Jumping over, we do have some hidden mechanics as well as some in-game tips, some things that aren't really explained to you in the game or don't really have the best translation there. So this one, for example, we actually found out, or this person found out, that grow shrooms can actually harvest themselves. So you can actually get a grow shroom through a grow shroom. So it doesn't seem like you're going to miss out on anything there. They can actually farm that themselves, and they can actually get you that deviation. There's been a lot of confusion there, as I saw a lot of people pointing out that grow shrooms actually can't get you another grow shroom, but apparently they can as long as they harvest a deviated plant. So you can still use those overall and potentially get yourself another deviation grow shroom. So very useful there, and they refill their own system there, so it is nice. They have that nice ecosystem there, especially if you have a buzzy bee with that. So definitely some nice synergy there and some auto planting as well as that overall. Another one here about deviations is a PSA for the +1 food. So there's been a lot of confusion there, as the description says that it's +1 deviation or +1 to the deviation that you collect. However, this doesn't mean that the deviation increases in level. This essentially just gives you a better chance at collecting a deviation. So what it means by that is if it's a level 4 deviation, giving yourself this +1 food will treat it like a level 3 deviation. So it doesn't essentially increase the deviations level, it just increases your chances. As if you didn't know, the higher up deviation you try to collect, the harder it is to collect the deviation. And you can fail collecting them if you didn't know that as well. So this should help out a lot if you are. A lot of people do suggest bringing that with you if you're trying to get those higher ones, especially for Rebecca. I remember Leia Lads, a lot of people were bringing that food into there when that drops. Or if you are currently still in phase 6, you should definitely consider bringing food for that, as well as any other instances there, and just have the canned food on you, as it doesn't expire there, so you can use that securement soup or food in general to increase that deviation requirement level, which obviously essentially gives you better odds at capturing. And to remember, gloves can also have this on there as well, so make sure you're swapping gloves if need be to give you that higher deviation requirement chance. One last thing here with the deviation, someone also pointed out, again, like in my last video, there are some new deviations. Specifically, the Digby Boy here has a pure gold variant. Now, someone asked here, does it have a chance to harvest gold? And not exactly, it just has more mining, or has a chance to gather extra materials. So essentially it'll be a little bit more efficient there overall. There's several different deviation variants that we found, including Groshroom and a few others. Hopefully they do have that new detailed list out soon of all the new ones. People are still trying to find new ones, and there was still some information that we didn't gather from the last scenario, so still a ton up in the air with that there, but hopefully they do figure all that out, and I will try to keep you guys updated when they do. Also, if you weren't here for my last video, Once Human did hit 10 million downloads, and there is an event tab for that in-game to get 2,000 Starcrom, so you can claim that now. There's also a few things there like canned luck, which will essentially give you some luck for mining, some decent rewards there for that overall, as well as Once Human is now in the top 10 of sales, or has been keeping in the top 10 of sales on Steam, so really good to hear there. It's been pretty consistent in that. So a lot of downloads and some decent sales figures. We'll have to see what happens when it comes to mobile as well as console, as these numbers will probably exponentially increase. Definitely some high hopes for the future there. Next up here, we do have some community feedback with a few things. So this one here is they need to fix the GPS. I'm not sure what happened with the last season and last scenario. It actually worked fairly well, but sometimes bugged out. However, now the GPS does not work at all. I don't know what's going on. Might have been some bugs there or with that update. Hopefully they do get that sorted out, as there's a lot of issues there, even with some of the pathing. A lot of times for me now, I don't know if anybody else experienced this, but it doesn't even give me the path. Again, this did happen before update 1.1, but it seems way more frequent now, so hopefully they do get that bug narrowed down, as it seems to be only made worse. And I'm sure others are experiencing that overall, especially since this is so highly upvoted. I'm sure a lot of people are still experiencing this issue. Next up here for some of the community feedback, we have this one here saying they want a mass discard and take all option, which I definitely agree. We do need some of that stuff out of our inventories, as well as kind of distributing different things. Now, you can currently hit H on your keyboard when you're putting things in your inventory or putting things in crates, and if it's all the same item, that will distribute it into the crate. However, as far as a mass discard item, I definitely agree, especially with the salt XP farming. Dropping it all one by one is kind of tedious, so it will be nice if you could just click on everything and discard it all at once. Hopefully they do consider adding that quality of life feature in the future, and as people voice their opinion on that, I'm sure they will. We have another post here going off base deletion after inactivity. So as this poster points out, one of his buddies was gone on vacation for 2 weeks. And when he came back, his base was actually deleted, or at least put away into a stasis mode. He did get a message that it was deleted due to inactivity, but as a commenter points out, it's only in a kind of stasis scenario, where essentially you can plop it back down and your entire base will be there, just like moving your base the same way. Now they point out that it's 3 days of inactivity, but somebody here says that it's actually 7 days of inactivity, which I do believe is accurate, because I was actually inactive for 3 days-ish. And so essentially there, I do believe it's actually 7 days and not 3, but you will have your base at least removed, and this kind of helps with cleanup stuff. I think that's actually a decent mechanic overall, so people can't just hog an area, go AFK for the rest of the season, and then that space and not be utilized. And again, you can pop your base right back down by using B and the Z key, same as you moving your base, so it's really not a big issue there. And if anything, helps with clutter overall, and it's very simple to relocate your base or pick it up and put it back down. And again, you don't lose anything, nothing's actually deleted, it's just moved into an AFK area or a stasis mode, or it's removed from the map, but it's not essentially deleted. So a decent mechanic there overall, and I do actually like that one. But overall, it should about cover for today's video. If you like and subscribe, and until the next one, deuces.